Hey everybody, it's Dax here today, and I'm gonna do another vlog, my semi-regular vlog series that I've been trying to get more active on. This is the series where I just sort of ramble for 15 minutes about whatever's on my mind, and honestly, I didn't really want to make this vlog because there's a lot on my mind, and I don't have all the answers, and I don't have any answers really. A lot of you know that I live in a small town in the Midwest, and that town was thrown into some chaos about a week ago when the local police shot a man in the back 7 times. Circumstances around that shooting are what they are. I'm not here to hash out whether it was guilty or whether he had a warrant or whatever. That's not the fucking point. I don't care anymore. I've read all the reports, I've saw the Facebook posts, I've watched all the streams, and I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't give a shit who unfriends me over this vlog. I don't give a shit who agrees with me. I don't even fucking care. All I know is this week has been insane. I've had to work extra hours at work because of security measures. I've had to leave my family to go cover a site when all their family members got to go home and be with their family members. I was there. My team was there. $1 billion company. In the middle of a city in chaos. And me and my team had to work it. We had to leave our families during the day. We had to leave our families at night. And some of us lived right in the middle of it. Me. Fires to the southwest. I had fires to the north. And this all happened because an officer shot a guy in the back. Because none of them could properly arrest anybody. Whether that shooting was justified, I don't even fucking know. I don't know, and I don't even care anymore. Because that shooting led to protests, which I'm all for. Like, if you want to protest your fucking heart out. Find justice in any way you can. But then those protests turned to rioting and looting, and some people say it wasn't people from the community, and other people say it was people from the community. Again, I don't care. I'm just angry and stressed because I grew up in this town, and this town used to be a town where you could walk your dog down the street, say hi to your neighbor, and trust your cops. And I don't think it's that anymore. And I got kids. You know? If anything, this whole thing speaks to the fact that cops need to be better trained. They need to be better screened. And they need to be fitter to do their jobs all around. And I'm not going to make this political because I don't give a shit if you're left or right, because fuck all politicians. They're not out to serve us anymore. They're out to serve themselves. All I know is I'm stressed and I haven't slept, and I'm worried about my family, and I'm worried about the families of other people. And then the protests go to rioting, and then rioting leads to fucking militias coming up, and then more people get shot and killed. And then stories come out about the shooter, and stories come out about the rioters, and everybody's trying to be right. And no one gives a shit that they were humans. The left wants to say, oh, he's a militia member, or oh, he's a fucking criminal. And the right wants to say, oh, he's a patriot and he was scum. Fuck all you people. Fuck everybody. They were all human. The dude who got shot by the cops was paralyzed. I don't give a shit about his criminal background or lack thereof. It's all fucking been twisted and bent to turn us against each other. And then you get the fucking shooter was, oh, he was a da-da, and he was just trying to protect a city that couldn't protect himself. Fuck yourself. All I know is, if anything, it's a failure of the cops. Because had they been better trained, they could have detained him properly instead of shooting him. And I got friends who are cops, and I love my friends, and I support good cops. But then you get assholes who can't do their jobs, and someone gets hurt, and that spirals out of control, and then you get a local police force that doesn't protect local businesses, and that local businesses burn to the ground because really rioters target. Here's what I'm going to say to you, rioters. Fuck you. Instead of targeting hard targets like government buildings and the cops or whatever who you feel deserved your vengeance, you target local businesses like a fucking pack of cunts. Like a fucking scared little bitches who target uptown businesses and downtown businesses and people who worked in the community. You didn't hurt nobody who hurt who the fuck you're rioting over. You hurt everybody in the community. And then to the militia members, hey, you know what, guys? Fuck you. I don't care if you were being attacked. I've seen all the videos. I don't even know. You shouldn't even been here. The cops should have been doing that job. The National Guard should have been doing that job. Not a bunch of kids in Call of Duty fuckboy attire being ginned up and jacked up by fucking cops and people who think they know better. Like, fuck you guys. One dude's paralyzed, 2 people are dead, and 1 dude is severely injured. I don't care if it was right or wrong. What I care about is you. Care about people who lost their livelihoods. I care about people who lost their loved ones. I care about how far things have deteriorated to where we can't trust each other to come together and do what's right. We can't trust our authority figures to provide us with protect and serve. We can't trust our government to support the people. You know, I live in the middle of a really economically disenfranchised neighborhood. My neighbors on both sides, hardworking people. I talk to them all the time. I talk to my neighbors across the street. And when stuff goes down on my block, we all go out and we tell them, take this shit elsewhere. When it's the wintertime and my 70-year-old neighbor's out there shoveling, when I get home at midnight, I tell them to go inside. With a heart condition and fibromyalgia, I shovel. I shovel the sidewalk for a 70-some-year-old man because his grandkids either can or they're in bed for school. You know, I've trained in martial arts and weapons training my whole life. I have friends who are cops. I have friends who are ex-military. I have cousins who are gun enthusiasts and pro-America, and I have cousins who are on the left, and I have family members on both sides. And, you know, I'm so tired of hearing the arguments. I'm so tired of everybody wanting to be right. So tired of everybody just being like, well, you're wrong, and here's why. Fuck you. Fuck everybody who doesn't want to talk, who doesn't want to listen, and just wants to be right. I've worked fucking 60 hours this week. I left my kids and my girlfriend behind to go protect a $1 billion business that sent their people home. And you're going to say, yeah, Doc, that's your job. Well, it is my job, but you know what? I wasn't thinking about the job when I was at work. I was thinking about what was going on in my neighborhood. I was thinking about where everybody was, my cousins, who I don't even see or barely talk to. I was thinking about my brother here in town and his daughter. I was thinking about my sister and her dog. I was thinking about my kids in different towns. What do they think? Are they worried about me? And I was thinking about the people who were getting hurt the most. It was regular people. It was community members who had nothing to do with what went on. I'm exhausted. I don't get paid enough to fucking deal with the fucking bullshit that we have to deal with. What's the answer? I don't know. Here's a few. You want to abolish the cops? You want to defund the cops? That's your business. But here's what needs to happen. You take a portion of that police budget and you section it off and you give it to community organizations that deal with mental health and domestic violence and people with disabilities and homeless, and you take those calls off the police's plate. Unless there's a weapon or violence, cops don't need to be involved in that stuff. There are mental health specialists, there are crisis workers, there are people who could use that budget to better enforce stuff. And the meme, let's see him take down a mentally handicapped PCP addict. No, that's your job. You're the cops. But if it's a mental health call, if it's a domestic disturbance you send the crisis worker and you send the cops to back them up, and the cops don't move in unless there's a fucking violence issue or a weapon. You don't put cops on every call. You take a portion of their over fucking budget, and a lot of that budget doesn't go to the fucking frontline officers. It goes to the executives and the fucking politicians and the people who aren't doing the job. You take a portion of that and you give it to mental health and crisis workers who can help take a lot of that off the plate. You take every officer once a week on one of their shifts. They need to go through training. You need to train officers. Typical police academy, you get 500 hours of training, from what I heard, from what I've seen. 500 hours of training. And then fitness tests and weapons qualifications to be an officer. That ain't shit. Operators in the military, I heard a podcast where an ex-SEAL was talking about, he trained 18 months to deal with a 6-month deployment into a war zone. We give officers 500 hours to deal with our shittiest people. You take some of that money and you give it to other specialists who can deal with calls that don't require men with guns. You give officers access to training in mental health, de-escalation tactics, peaceful negotiation, whatever you want to call it. You require a certain level of fitness, and you give them fucking deep-ass mental health screening so you don't get fucking crazy motherfuckers who kill people because they can't handle the job. Chris Rock said it best. Some jobs can't have bad apples. Some jobs just can't have bad apples. And to you people that want to protest all you want. I support you. Whatever fucking color or organization or fucking whatever you want to protest for, go right the fuck ahead. You know? So protest whatever you want. But don't riot. Don't burn down your communities. Don't let people co-opt the message into something that you're fighting for, into something it's not. And if that's the case, make sure the people that you're protesting for, make sure you know the people you're protesting about. Because, no one protested for the numerous innocent lives that are lost every day. You got kids getting hurt in the projects in Chicago, and you got kids dying in the streets of LA. Nobody's protesting for them. You had a guy who was crawling on his hands and knees shot by a police officer in a hotel. Nobody's rioting for them. Nobody's protesting for them. No NBA players are speaking out for people. It seems like people and celebrities are speaking out and protesting in a way to put their name to something so they can be like, oh, look what we did. Yeah, look what you did. I don't know. I'm just pissed off. I'm pissed off and sad that we don't talk to each other anymore. We don't listen to each other anymore. We can't trust the people that elect to do our will, to do it. We have to second guess that the people with badges are going to do their jobs and make sure they do it. They serve and protect. Or is this going to be the day that we get the bad apple? I don't know. I just needed to get it off my chest because I've been sitting here thinking about it, and like I said, I don't care what the politics are. I don't care what you fucking think about vigilanteism or what you think about rioters or what you think about the guy who got shot or if you give a fuck about the... I don't even care about it. I don't even give a shit about it. I give a shit that I had to leave my family in the middle of it all. Because there's a breakdown in the system from training to communication to messaging to everything, and the city ripped itself apart. 2 people are dead. 2 people are had their lives changed through injury. And it's just made everything a little bit darker. I don't know. Hey, if you watch this, do me a favor. Go talk to your neighbor. Hug your kids. Tell your significant other that you love them, because who the fuck knows what's gonna happen. I sure the fuck don't anymore.